Something like that.
I don't think we ever got it.
Anyone needs an extra one, I've got two of them up here.
How long probably has your name on it up?
Mine says on
I got yours.
So if anyone-
it. Here, let me go. That was me.
I've got it.
There you go, Lisa, technically it's up here.
That is funny.
Oh,
They're all the
see,
same.
you're scaring me.
I know.
So then you want yours?
He does not know that.
Yeah, feel it.
Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Chapman?
Present.
Brown? Present. Rucker?
Present.
Dirk?
Present.
Householder? Present. Menard?
Present.
West?
Present.
Webb? Present. House? Verticchio?
Present. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, help this council to find wisdom and shed light on our thoughts. Give us strength to concentrate, to think objectively, and to see clearly. Help us, Lord, to avoid vanity and pride, and thus be able to make worthy decisions as true servants of yours. Amen. All right. Let's get the instructions to the gallery tonight. We're gonna go review the minutes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience in county control boards.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second. Would you like to approve all the minutes or?
All of them.
Motion been made and seconded. Roll call.
Householder? Yes. Menard?
Yes.
Rucker?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Approval of expense reports. Expenses and payroll.
I make a motion to approve the expense and payroll reports.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Roll call.
Householder? Yes. Menard?
Yes.
Rucker?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Approval of the water department reports.
I make a motion to accept the deposit refund report.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Roll call.
Householder? Yes. Menard?
Yes.
Rucker?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call.
Householder? Yes. Menard?
Yes.
Rucker?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Brown? Yes.
Old business, ordinance committee update, Joe.
You see on page 60, not really revised, we defined a few more organizations on the bottom for the rental fees. And let's see. Glenn also has some ordinances, some kind of real verbiage, right, Glenn, to update.
Yeah, within corrections like water rates aren't in the proper, some hours for, then for, taverns or, short-stop field. And some of the orders that were changed since 19 aren't in there. Given the particular information is on prepare updates.
I'll have a report then.
You sure the updates aren't responsive?
Well, I did, I looked up all ordinances and then give them information to, correct.
From the latest copy we had, that's what we were going off of, so
Yeah, I think some of them have been updated.
they may.
Yeah, like water rates for one hasn't been updated in there, and there's some other things, but
Well, just like shortstop, I thought that had been updated too. I know we've talked about it before, let's put it that way. Maybe Rick will find it when he goes. starts.
Yeah, I've got records on it, but I'll go through and Lynch knows.
Oh, no, municipal fee, the exemption organizations, 1 hour meetings with no food. Why?
For cleanup fee, because that's what we were adjusting the rates off of, was the cleanup fees.
Well, those things have changed. I felt like the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts always had a snack, maybe that's changed.
Yeah,
part of it, we're hoping, we'd like to get this room here remodeled, so this would be a meeting room, that room would not be used. Anybody use that room down the back, correct me if I'm wrong, use that room, is gonna be charges, this room is free.
That would be nice.
You got Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts that meet for an hour, they really can't afford $70 over there. But
Oh, I
we put them over here where they're making a mess
right.
and accommodate them.
And no access to the kitchen, so you know they're not cooking and making a mess. That's nice.
That's the thought process.
That would also leave the hall open for.
Yeah, and you could have a meeting here in the hall, to be rented, so everyone was rental.
So this is the room that's being removed?
Or,
Well, it's still very early stages, but we're gonna get bids on, running the wall back over here and opening that up so all the administration is in one room. And then the record rooms would be sealed off, so.
That would be
Yeah,
nice.
Carrie
the thought
mentioned
process,
one.
make this record room, if we're gonna need more room for expansion, this area here will be an office.
I thought this closet was something special, like fireproof or
Store or
something.
something.
nothing more.
Bo, do you want to explain to them what you explained to me?
In wiring the cameras,
I don't think.
No, with fire.
yeah, in wiring the
Okay.
cameras, I got up into the ceiling, and basically it's what's called a fire break, right, where that drywall goes all the way up. Right, I don't know that it's special, it's just in the construction. Like over here, right, this drywall goes maybe 8 inches, 12 inches above the drop ceiling. That room, it goes all the way to the roof.
I was told this room was fireproof.
It's
That's
yeah, it's
what-
walled
That's
off.
fire stop. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's a
was
fire
something
stop, right.
Fireproof.
Yeah, I don't know that it would be fireproof, but it's definitely like a, right, obstacle,
They take longer to catch fire.
right.
Well, it
Everything
can't,
burned.
the fire can't go through,
Right.
through, over the ceiling and
Exactly,
jump through.
and jump down in there, right, it's a fire break.
But that's, I mean, that could be remedied with, or that could be adjusted over here too,
And
so.
would it have been
Doing
done to
this, that
protect
would be
records
correct.
then?
I would assume it was
Potentially.
done for a reason.
I know they do it between garages and homes for the garage to carry over rain.
Same concept,
Is the
yeah.
ceiling in here is ceiling drywall or ceiling tile?
I
Well,
can't,
the
I don't want to
contractor,
spend any time in there.
Yeah, well, the contractors that we're gonna put it out to bid and have contractors come with, and we'll have
What committee's doing
a
it?
standard government committee, government governance committee. And then they put it to, I guess, property or whatever, but it doesn't make any difference. We just were talking about it and kind of ran with it.
It came up because they were
Yeah.
adjusting hall fees and stuff, and the idea of using this room, you know,
Try
came
to
up,
figure
so
out
they
where we have a
decided.
place for people to meet, that don't need the whole place for lighting, heating, cooling, and not have to charge some organizations that really can't afford it. And looking down the
That
road
makes
to make it
sense.
more accessible office
Yeah.
space and storage.
And
Would it be
honestly, it
cheaper
might
just to
be,
move Heather's desk, I'm assuming you're wanting to put the wall up for privacy, would it be cheaper
Right.
just to move Heather's desk back in here where it used to, they used to all be together?
So
it kind of leaves us,
Well,
it probably, but I mean, it leaves us a big dead spot.
we need storage space in the future.
I mean, definitely
It's
cheaper.
over here where, but.
Definitely would be
It's filled
cheaper,
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a lot
honestly.
cheaper.
But for the pace of tonight's meeting, we're gonna approve these meeting minutes, right?
So, actually, what we can do, are we gonna approve
Or
the
what were we discussing?
municipal building rental fees?
Well, there you go.
That's
Yeah,
Where we're at. Does anybody
I
want
like that motion.
Whatever it is.
I'll second it.
motions that making second to create the new there'll be rental fees.
Okay, so this is A9A1, right? Sorry, motion.
Yes.
I'm sorry, who made the first, who made the motion?
William Carey.
Roll call, please.
Ricker,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Household. Yes. Burke.
Yes.
Do I need to submit this into the newspaper with the updated? You want me
Probably
to do
would be
that?
best. And while we're on that, before you even do that, the two is in there too, the sound system fee update is also in there. Portable sound system rental and deposit is included in that on the list here, so
Did we vote on sound system?
not yet at all.
Next item is the sound system fee update.
Yeah, it's right there in there with it. I'll be honest with you, with my schedule, I didn't get a chance to even call on some. I think in the meeting, we discussed kind of the one that Mo had brought in at the last meeting. And we went off of just like what it would be to replace our microphone, because more than likely that's gonna be the one that's gonna get damaged the more frequently out of anything, so. I will put that on my list to do some bids for next meeting. Yeah,
There's no more motion there.
yeah, there's no
That was the
motion.
very first bid that we got. Do you guys remember?
Well, it's kind of, I think the first one was,
$5,000.
it was to do that whole,
So do we need to
Speaker
run an
system in
ad
there.
is the only thing I'm asking.
we're gonna get bids, I don't know if we need to run, we'll get multiple bids.
Should run an ad.
3 bids?
Okay, we can run an ad. You mind?
Okay, I don't want to muddy the waters, but that was for like thousands of dollars, what he's been looking at is only.
What was it, though, I'm sorry?
That was, the sound
The one
system,
that you
yeah,
brought in.
it was, roughly $650 for the 2 speakers, and then the microphone, which was 2 microphones, UHF, was like $55-$60. So it was, in total, it was under $750.
So is that required then?
$775 is what you said last time. $775 for, that was
Or is that something?
It would.
The
then
mics,
the council, that's
66 per mic, and then
Yeah,
775 for
It's not in the,
setup
it's
or
not in the
something, I
book,
think
so we
it
can't
says.
talk about it.
That sounds about right.
You mean the previous bid?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, 775, which you said last time.
Or the subject is not.
Well, he's not
Or
ready
something
to,
good. So-
We're not- yeah.
he's not ready to move forward with it, so we're
Right.
gonna just table this and move on. Next is gonna be the, Public Works Committee update, Gary.
Public Works Committee update. They're, on Monday, the truck's gonna go over to St. Louis and get a snow plow put on it, and lights and a salt spreader.
That's a new.
Yeah, we're doing the, search for Public Works supervisor first.
I thought you said Public Works update, I'm sorry.
That's just
The search is still continuing.
And, purchase of Public Works Department equipment, I guess that's where you were heading.
Yes. So, again, we purchased the plow, the lights, and the salt spreader for the new four-wheel drive truck, so we'll have that for the winter season this year. That goes on Monday. Got a bid on the locator and the, I'm gonna call it the little digger. I don't know what the proper term is, the tool to use to dig out all the valves that are full of mud and whatnot. Right now, I have the Public Works Department going through town, and if you guys drive down the road, you see the valve cover
I've
sprayed
seen
blue.
them, yeah.
They're doing that because we've had, I don't know how many water main breaks where they go to turn the valves off and they're completely caked with dirt and mud and they can't,
Can't even get to them.
and it's cold or it's dark or it's rainy and it's just a really bad situation. So while we're a little slower right now, I've got them going through town, marking all of them, then we're buying a tool to come back and clean them out. And then if they have valves need to be replaced, they'll be replacing valves.
I can see it looked like it would have been scraped around and it was blue.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some that they gotta get to, and you can ask John, they've been completely covered with oil and shit.
Yeah. You can tell layers and layers.
And there's nothing worse than being out at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get water to shut up. So they've been doing that, and that's, I think it will be a plus to Martin Mullen app as well. I think that's all we got bids on. Oh, I'm sorry, I ran ads in the paper for the Skidster Ran a lot of ads.
I'm sorry, Karen, did you say that the snowplow, they were able to schedule for Monday?
Monday, 9:30.
Also, we got snow coming Tuesday.
Stop it. Are you
We do.
serious?
We won't have that.
Flurries.
That's funny, that's funny.
But it's funny that we won't, they'll have it for a couple days and then they'll come back. And I did ask them if they would get anything that would require a water main break in that truck out and into the other truck, so we don't have to
Right.
scramble. Um, I think that's all. I mean, they're working at the park, they're cleaning up the area around the memorial, the original memorial. Getting that all cleaned up, it's gonna look a lot nicer. And I did run an ad for the sidewalks at the park, for the, going in front of the pickleball court and then by the pickleball court and the bathrooms, there's a low spot that's always held water there and mud and whatnot. We are also gonna ask for a bid on that. John would like to see it replacing concrete, so there's a bid on concrete there and
That's it.
ran ads for the lighting and the plumbing at the other park as well. Lots of ads. You guys probably saw the tractor did get fixed in the back.
Are you, I'm sure you probably are, you just put my mind at ease, are you telling them to write down on there that it's a bid?
Who?
The people who are sending these bids in,
Yes.
so what'll come into us?
There's only
is a-
one, the skidster is the only thing that's got sealed bids and
Okay,
They know.
and it'll be labeled, because it's totally messing with Chris and Tracy's heads, because they have been having just opening all the mail and then, distributing it, and they're like, what are we doing? So, anyway, I will let them know that it will be marked,
well,
because you asked for it.
it should be. If it's not, that's not our fault.
Yeah.
Right, next is the insurance committee. This is for our health insurance. I'm
That's
sorry,
just
I'm
basically the
sorry. No.
communication, the actual insurance recommendation goes down and send out, so just they have packets. Here's where you actually go for it, this was just a bunch of communication that has been sent in, and Greg had asked to have it put in the packet, and then Greg Burr asked me to go for this.
Okay, so we'll take that item C up down under new business on F. So under new business, we have Madison Communications local franchise agreement, page 65.
Yeah, that was real wordy. What do we need to know about that?
You said basically a renewal, isn't it? It's just a renewal, and I prepared a resolution, if somebody moved it second, we just authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign the renewal. It's not exclusive, so.
The resolution will be laid on the floor. So,
I'll make a motion to renew the Mass Communications franchise agreement.
I'll second it.
Pamphlet form.
in Bradford County.
What's that?
Pamphlet form.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is there a second?
Carrie said.
Okay, motion been made and seconded, roll call please.
Rucker,
Yes.
West.
Yeah.
Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Householder. Yes. Sure.
We are back to the, our new business here, approval to seek bids for municipal hall remodel.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know if we want to recommittee that or what, but, as the government ordinance committee, we just wanted to, well, we kind of explained it, what we had in mind, blocking this wall off and making the office larger.
I think it's a good idea to look into it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Checking
that's
the
all we're
cost of
doing
it,
is right now,
right?
just looking into
yeah,
it.
we're,
But it-
There's nothing in the packet, you just asked for permission to start looking at the project.
Yeah.
I think it's worth looking at.
Again, if you wanted to send it to like property, yeah, I mean, that's,
Wherever it makes sense, I think it's a good idea to do it.
it would probably
Look
make more
into it.
sense to come through there,
I
which,
think it will be expensive, but we can still do it. We can get price.
Okay, let's move back to Parks and Property Committee. what we come up with. Next item is a change from IML to Viat's pest control, page 74.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, roll call.
We're going to IMO or?
No.
Brown.
Two bias.
Gotcha, need to turn the page, okay, turn the page.
Yes.
So Rucker,
Yes.
West.
Yeah.
Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Household,
Yes.
Bird.
Next item is to accept the resignation of Officer Douglas Grant.
I'll so move to accept the resignation of Douglas Brent.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded, roll call.
Rucker,
Yes.
West, Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Household,
Yes.
Bird.
Next item is the police department bids for from Yager Consulting.
Okay, so we had a computer, it's just stopped working, it won't turn on. So I asked Bo to get us a quote on replacing that computer and a new monitor. So that's here on the first page, and that's $670 for a new monitor and computer, and him setting that up. So I need two different motions here for this. Okay, that's for that one then.
Actually, we can do them together, because we just kind of all the same.
Okay.
Unit.
So that's that computer, and then we also have one computer that's got like lines going through it, like the monitor. I guess it's just maybe the backlighting's going out, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be,
And then we're trying to update another monitor that's like the dinosaurs. So that's why there's two more monitors on there. So it's done, there's a couple good computers and there's a couple out there outdated, need updated.
Why do we need a curved screen? That was more expensive.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about the same. What we were focused on technically on that 27-inch monitor was the refresh rate. Because he's using it to view body cam video.
The body cam video, so
Right,
it's
so it's
basically.
got a high refresh rate. The curve, I'm sorry, yeah, the curve was just was no difference in price. Gives them a little bit more, what I call desk real estate. You know, with it being curved, you can actually put two more monitors on the other side. So it does help a little bit. But
So how many screens can they have up at one time on the cameras? Like for this building in the park?
Well, it depends on how many cameras you have. Like here, it's showing 16 cameras.
All on one screen?
Yep.
I was just wondering if the monitor was big enough to show them all.
Ours is on TV. So,
Yeah, they're using their flat screen TV.
yeah, ours is on TV.
I didn't know you had a flat screen TV.
That's where ours are. Ours is on
But
32-inch TV.
Nice.
But the monitors that are in the closets at the park, they're able to show up to 8 cameras. And then you can organize them however you want.
So you guys can see them now?
We can't. Well,
We have to
we got,
physically,
yeah, you gotta go in there and watch them. I'd have to key that.
No, I thought you said that they could watch them from here.
with internet access.
Okay,
Right, that's what the internet access budget.
we're working on that, so too.
I know the process.
Everything is.
I'll make a motion to approve the bids for computers for the police department. Did I say the amounts or? Let's do this.
If we're doing it together, we're doing one bid, one total bid.
Just list them, list
Dell.
all the items.
Dell Inspiron computer with the Dell 22-inch monitor and installation. And part two of that are two Dell 27-inch monitors with installation for a total of 1260, is that right?
Second.
Motion to make the second, roll call please.
Rucker,
Yes.
West.
Yeah.
Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Household,
Yes.
Next item is the approval of insurance plans, for health insurance for employees. Passed out plans on the desk tonight. We have met with the union, we met with the union tonight about this. Don't see any problem with the plans that we selected. The plan is the same from last year in almost all regards, other than it's going to be about 8% more expensive. I believe our dental insurance went up a little bit, which was the first time in quite a few years that there was an increase in dental insurance. I think that was like a $2 increase per employee. Pretty insignificant.
If there's no objection, I'll make a motion over the essence of time, so we have things in progress, to get their insurance enforced, so I'll make that motion.
Oh, I think you might want to give everybody a minute to look at it.
Yeah, no, yeah, like I say,
So you're going with United Healthcare, which one are you making a motion?
he's
for?
on that,
Which one were you waiting to make a motion on?
on the, United Healthcare, on the one proposal. Rick, you want to tell them?
Yeah, by talking to, the union, and the union had a chance to review it, we met with him today at 6:15 tonight.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Some of you were here, the ones that weren't here, the union really kind of applauded us for a change, saying that we're taking care of our employees really well with this, so we're going with existing plan 1 and existing plan 2. Existing plan 1 there in your column, there, your first column, is a Choice Plus, and then the United Healthcare Plan 2 is your plan that is a kind of a buy-up plan. Both plans, when we cross-reference them with Blue Cross Blue Shields, Blue Cross Blue Shields couldn't hold a candle to them, and it was the best United Healthcare plan out there for our employees. For basically, the city's going to pick up the premium of $529.56 is what I got figured up. The plan, the flex plan, the first one you see there in your packet, I got it for $378.84. It went up to that, and then a 6% increase on your existing plan 2 went to $150.72, and then the premium total, when you add those two together to the city, that will have to increase to the city is $529.56 per month. Your vision and your Met Life stayed the same. Dental went up, basically, for the single family or the single person employee only $2. And for the family, it went up $3.02.
So on this front page, it says the census and what the employees, did you talk with all the employees?
Have I?
Or did?
I have not met with all the employees. Some of them have reached out and talked to me. And I guess the union, as you heard tonight, looked at it. So this was the best plan out there for the city and for the employees.
So the employees understand how much theirs is going up, their portion?
I don't know if the union has contacted them with that or not. I couldn't answer that question.
So the out-of-pocket for the employee themselves is not gonna change.
Sure.
We pay their full bill. Now, if they have a dependent or a person on the plan with them, the 15% that they change will,
But we're talking about the part they pay.
part they pay, yes. That's the only difference that the employee is gonna experience is that 8% difference in the family or spouse.
So is somebody, is anybody giving up figures, or do we have figures on what that's gonna be?
Okay, one problem with that is you can't do too much because we can't negotiate with.
I know, that's why I was wondering about the census here.
Well, I think Rick did a very good job of CV saying they talked to me. And we simply said, this is the one we think, and we were basically recommending it to the union, and the union was here with their attorney saying they think it's all right. Now, do we talk to the employees? Really, we shouldn't. We should, let the union, we told them that we would either approve it tonight or we could hold it up for the special meeting on the 17th. But they didn't seem to object to approving it tonight, although your point may be well taken, that we don't know that they talked to the employees. I assume they have. But that's where we get in, we don't want to get into.
That's where we got in trouble last time, is Mike.
No, where we got in trouble last time is we did talk to the employees, and the employees attended the meetings.
Well,
But what they did,
Yeah.
what we didn't do last time was talk to the union.
Right.
they were invited to the meeting, they just
Well,
couldn't make it,
Well, I understand that, and
so they said.
they didn't make it.
Mhm.
And we didn't have anything where we communicated, I know that some of the employees were there and they said that they talked to their union, but we didn't have anything in paper form that we talked to the union and said, here, union, this is what we're considering. In light of the fact that we have to make changes because the contract, the collective bargaining agreement says it could change because everyone says that because they do change.
Right.
Okay, and so we didn't have anything of record to show that we told the union, hey, give us your input. We have it now. I mean, we have it that I've sent and they're here tonight, so whether you want to approve it tonight or whether you want to, wait until the 17th to see if the union talks to its employees, that's up to you. Either one's going to be fine as far as, and I understand your point, Glenda, let's just move it forward. But approving it on the 17th of November with the December 1st starting date is fine. We don't really have to go, I don't know what else we can do from this point. It's really, we've had our meeting with the union and it's really the union's.
I would rather do it tonight, so we don't have to have a special.
Well, I understand that, and I think we've covered that base.
Yeah, there's no alternative, so.
I just wanna make sure I thought we had to tell them.
Now,
We have to tell the union.
we did.
You told the union what the difference was gonna be?
Oh, we gave them
Yeah.
all the information. We gave them, not only Dan's, comparison sheet, we gave them the proposals submitted by United Healthcare and submitted by Blue Cross Blue Shield. And Jay Kimmy was here with that information. I don't think he's suckering us into, he doesn't have the information.
I just,
He said tonight that they were okay with it, they were ready to move on with it. If they wanted to move on, they didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Beginning December 1st, 2021, employees and dependents insured are paying 15%, so they were paying 15% last year.
Well, the only difference is that 15% of X is changing
X is
up to Y.
changing.
So it's gonna be an increase in them, but we don't really have the right to tell the employees what that is. If the employees have come to Rick as they have, and Ricky did a good job tonight, God is going to be careful saying, the employees came to us and we said, this is what we're thinking about, but we don't have any right to tell you, so go talk to your union, and, both union reps were here along with their attorney, I think we're fine. But if you wanna wait till the 17th, is that the only reason we have a meeting on the 17th?
No, we're gonna have some bids to open, correct, or to approve.
that kind of meeting for to open bids.
I'm sorry, I thought you told me we were having a special meeting.
You said we'd have to have a special meeting to vote on, them. We're having a committee meeting to open them.
Well, and then you could have a special meeting right after that. If you want to get them approved before, I don't know what your time frame is on getting those approved. But you have to have a special meeting. If you don't approve it tonight, you're gonna have, approve offering them this.
It doesn't matter, if we can do that, that's fine, because we're having a committee meeting on the 16th and opening the bids, so if we wanna make that part of the special meeting and vote on them, we can.
Okay.
I just misunderstood. I thought you said you wanted to have a special meeting after you open your bid. You wanted to have a special meeting to get the project moved.
You had mentioned that we were going to have a special meeting about insurance, I think, and
Yeah, well, you.
Yeah,
one of the
we did
things-
discuss that. So,
So, but you don't have to do it for the insurance meeting if you approve it tonight. And, I'm satisfied that the union's been given a right to give us their input. And they basically said, you can go ahead and do it. And if you do it, I'll contact the union tonight to say that, I'm not tonight, I'll contact them tomorrow and say we did approve that United Healthcare program, and what we have now.
You know, we didn't say that we were leaning that way, we didn't say we were actually gonna do it, you know,
We
and
just
they were okay with it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
And they're okay with doing it tonight.
I don't know there's anything out there that Dan Wall can come up with that's gonna change it for it to be any cheaper.
No,
Can't get the
but
coverage.
we gave them the opportunity, and Dan came so that they could ask him questions,
Right.
they did. I think you're well covered. You're definitely away from what you had last time, where we spent a lot of money and have had problems going to labor board because we didn't give the union the input. This time we gave them a right to give us their input.
I think the union, the way I understand what he told me, and Jay Kenny told me that they was happy that we took care of our employees really well.
I agree. You said
And I
that.
think that's why they were okay with it, they knew that we went the extra mile to get the best we could get out there for them.
Well, they're getting the exact same policy they had last year, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, there's no changes, so it's the same thing they had last year, there's no changes. So, like I said, the only thing that really changed was the dental, and that was like $3.02.
Well, but the biggest thing was you had improved the union, that you looked at other
Right.
Yeah.
policies, and Blue Cross Blue Shield did not match what
Yeah, it wasn't,
we have with United Healthcare, and that they're fine with having us offer United Healthcare as what the employees insurance is.
That's good.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion that we accept the plan as presented.
I'm gonna second it.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to roll call, please.
Rucker,
Yes.
West, and Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Householder, yes. Kurt.
Executive reports, Gary. Reports.
More than I already did.
You're satisfied, we'll move on.
It's kind of on here twice, so we're moving on.
I wonder what would be different.
Okay, so police department answered 144 calls for service during the month of October. Racial profiling submitted to the state, officers doing business checks, try to check open doors and stuff like that in that nature at night. I still have a bunch of cases under investigation that I'm working with the state attorney's office, very charges for. We had a couple accidents here in town, and one actually led to a DUI that was written in the middle of town for hitting a pole in the middle of town. Officer Castle wrote that DUI a few weeks ago.
Was she able to do all her own stuff?
I was gonna say, go get her good equipment.
Yay.
Yep, we got it, it's working good. A trooper actually did stop by and kind of helped her just a little bit, just because the person that was getting the DUI was kind of being ignorant, I guess, in a sense. So they kind of helped her out and made sure that she was good. And then, 2 warrant arrests were made in the month. Halloween went off. No problem that we had really. The officers doing regular patrols. We had 2 officers on both nights of trick or treating on the 30th and 31st. So one thing I really wanted to talk about is May Whitaker Park. We've been asking juveniles to leave the park after dark, and having a lot of problems out there here lately. Stuff getting tore up, doing burnouts. We've even got videos of them ramping, the walking paths, riding motorcycles on the walking paths. So we've been actually just telling juveniles if they're playing basketball and just being good, that's fine. But we've been having a lot of incidents.
What age are these juveniles?
Around seniors, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, old enough to drive. So we've been having trouble with that, and we've actually got video of it, so.
Do they
So
issue
are
tickets?
the videos from the new cameras?
No, we actually got them off a social media account. So, we've been up on watching social media accounts on these people. They've been posting it on there. So.
It's awesome.
It's fun.
I wanted to bring that up, so if you hear people been kicked out of there, that'd be the reason. Because we actually have videos of it, so.
What time does the ordinance say for the park to be closed? Is it 10?
I think it does say two.
I think so too.
I don't know if there's an actual ordinance or not.
There is, and I think it is 10, but we need to check that. And here's the thing, we put in this basketball court with lights so they can play.
Yeah, now if they're doing that, we haven't been kicking them
I was
out.
gonna say,
Well,
so,
when the sports league have games that go past 10 o'clock, we don't shut the lights off, want to run them out either. So
Yeah.
There's exceptions to some of that.
Now, if they're doing stuff like that, but the ones that are just loitering and just being ignorant with stuff, leaving all their trash behind and stuff like that. Because, I mean, we've gotten the videos, of them doing that, so that's why that would have been.
Do charges come from that?
I know, so we're trying to.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Our state's attorney kind of leans not to charge people off such things, but that's why we've been doing extra control in the area on the seniors.
right on that now.
Doing stuff like that, no, you're out of here.
Yeah.
So-
We also got curfew laws we can use.
Well, and I'd like to think the parents have some rules too, but, yeah,
But that, I was wanting to keep you guys informed. That's happened, if that's happening, if somebody comes and complains, if a parent complains. Now, if they're playing basketball, like we said, no, that's fine. It's just as long as they're not deliberately tearing stuff up.
Right.
And doing stuff like that, because we don't need anybody getting hurt on our city property anyway. Like ramping a walking trail, because on that, it'd be on the north end off that one walking trail,
have we actually caught any of them and had a conversation with them?
we have.
So at this point, that's a warning.
Yes. Yep, we're at that point, and then we've just been real kicking them out now.
So at that point, a warning, do you talk to their parents? I'm just asking, I'm just
If
curious.
they're under 18, yes. Now, if they're 18 or older, we obviously can't. And we've had a couple of them that were 18, so.
We are going to close down the bathrooms. The temperature's supposed to drop in the 20s.
Yeah, they've been winterized.
We're gonna winterize them.
Okay.
And shut them down, so after
It's gonna be cold starting Friday night.
tomorrow, we'll winterize them,
Yeah.
because they're off on Friday for the holiday.
All right.
So we're gonna do it tomorrow.
Sounds good. But I wanted to bring that to
Yeah.
the board's attention. And that's why we'd be doing such things. And then we've just been doing a lot of traffic, and we've been doing the ordinances, and I've been trying to follow up on them, and I actually put in the sheet in here. These are just the ones we had here in the last month.
Josh, is there a column where you can put what the fines are and what the money, we're supposed to be able to track the money, so if you guys are taking,
Yeah, I can do that. I can put the fines in here.
okay.
Okay, that's fine.
And
I just didn't do that part of it.
these warnings that go back from like 8/26, I'm getting a lot of private messages on Facebook and text messages and phone calls about areas around town, and some of them are on this list. If they were warned back in August, have we done anything since August?
Well, the two ones right here that we're talking about, didn't we vote on the last meeting that we were gonna have those done?
Cardinal nuisance.
30, yeah,
Which one, the top one too, or?
the 615 East Seminary, the one that's the burnt down trailer,
Mhm.
and then the 610 East Warren.
So Rick Verticchio's doing something with those?
I talked to him, and he said that he was waiting, I think, talk to John.
Which one are you asking about? I'm sorry.
615 East Seminary and 610 East Warren.
We gave notice, I was gonna report that in my, we gave resolution notices to the owners, but the only one that, we wanna call your attention, and the time hasn't run, here at the end of the month, it'll run, either they fix it up, or we could take action. But on the one that is the 610 East Warren, the real estate taxes weren't paid for the year 2020, and they were bought by a tax buyer known as Metro Liens Inc. And they'll have to be joined in any lawsuit if we file, try to pursue it further. And this we've discussed with you before, there are times where may wanna let the tax buyer see if they go after and get a deed. Because then you have somebody who is apparently more,
We can't make them clean it up, though, right?
well, if they take a tax, if they take a deed and become the owner. We can't make them clean up now, because as soon as we give them notice, what they're gonna do is they're gonna pull away and do a sale in air and get their money back.
And I'm sorry, did you say that was East Warren?
That's East Warren.
Terry, to bring up the date on the East Warren, the folks up in the building next to it was wanting to buy it. He told me the other
Yeah.
day,
That's the gentleman that came to the meeting, wasn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
And he said he's gonna start mowing and cleaning it up. Hopefully he can get it bought, but he's gonna start cleaning it
Well,
up.
it sounds like somebody else,
Well, that's,
Tax
you
buyer
got tax buyer on, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say,
But
he has
if-
first
if
rights
we-
to it then, right?
Well, no, because they still have, it's up to 2 years.
You buy back.
We can still redeem the taxes. We
And he
can,
did it in 2020?
yeah, they did it in 2020. And 21 is gonna be, which is payable, which has been payable this past year. I'm sure that hasn't been, well, I can tell you, it hasn't been paid either, but it's still one more year before they can get a tax deed. So unless we just wanna sit on the property, we should pursue it. But any buyer, or if we take over it, we need to know that we're gonna have to redeem the taxes, which were, the taxes are approximately $350 a year. 355, 52 to be exact.
Thanks, Rick. And what does citation mean?
Never given a citation,
Is that like a,
actual written, well, not a warning, it's a ticket,
so they were charged and fined?
yes.
So then what's the process after that?
Well, if they don't pay it, goes to Rick and they go to court.
Well, this gets back to, we have ordinance violations for your property being in a nuisance condition, okay? If you are somebody who cares about the property, you're gonna wanna pay the fine or work with us. Oftentimes when we pursue those as a ordinance violation, we file it and then let the owners know, here's the fine, the fine's $350, but if you clean it up, we'll agree to reduce the fine to $150 plus cost. Something to get them to do it. But if it's somebody that doesn't care, then the other way to do it is what we've talked about, and we've done it with other pieces of property, is where we declare it a nuisance and can go in and get court authority for us to clean it up, or for us to deal with the neighbor to clean it up and sell it to the neighbor then.
So,
And that's what I think we're gonna have to do with the 601 South Washington too.
well, that's, since it said, well, that's the first one that says citation. That's what I was asking, Rick, just so hopefully people that are watching can hear this, and the people that have asked, we can get back to them on. Once that citation process has started, it looks like that was written on 9/28 for the one I'm looking at right now.
But the citation is for a fine.
Right, so they have how long to pay the fine?
Well, they have 30 days, and then we can file a proceeding to hold them in contempt, or ask that they be ordered to pay the fine at least in installments, and they can be in contempt of court. They don't respond, but it never gives us authority to go in and have the court say, all right, Bunker Hill, you clean it up and come back to us, and whatever your expenses are as a lien, the property could be sold for the lien. What we've done in other times is do that, and then go to the neighbor and say, here, what's it gonna cost to clean it up? You clean it up, we'll pay you that, but at the same time, we sign an agreement with them that says, we're not gonna pay you any cash to clean it up, we're gonna credit that as part of a sale, that, let's just say the neighbor says it costs $2,500 to clean it up. We're gonna sell you this agreement, this property for $2,500 plus whatever our expenses are, and we estimate that to be $1,800. And so we'll have a $4,300 lien. No one else will, if we have to do the sale, no one else will acquire the property. And we can sell it to the neighbor for the cost, so the city didn't spend any money.
Okay.
They didn't spend money to pay me, they didn't spend money to clean up, because the neighbor cleaned it up, and that's the best way to do it. Unless it's somebody who's, for instance, Mr. Cottage in the past was one. Again, I'm not calling names or doing anything because all this is public record. When we give him a citation to say, there's an ordinance violation, you haven't cleaned up the problem, he goes and cleans it up. So we only fine him a minimum amount and then we go on down the road again.
Okay.
But if it's somebody that we don't think is going to care whether we get a fine against them, that isn't the way to do it. The way to do it then is do the common law nuisance proceeding where we go into court and get authority to clean it up ourselves or at least contract with somebody else to clean it up.
And I missed that. Do we have to do the citation process first or
No.
we do the other process instead?
The citation process is one method, the nuisance proceeding is a second method, and it just kind of depends on our discretion, and mostly I would leave that to Zach to say, these people probably will respond. You know, the cottage always responds. Otherwise, if it's nobody that's not there, I mean, are these people living there? Do you know? They're not. Nobody's living there,
Which
right?
one, 610, there's nobody living.
Yeah, nobody living there. They're not gonna respond. I mean, the owners actually live besides,
610, both the owners died.
yeah, but,
I think the one, Anna Godfrey,
they live in,
Daughter,
Yeah, she's a guy.
yeah.
yeah, that one is nobody. Both owners are dead.
Okay, those are in warning status. The one that, so the next one, the 601 citation,
Yeah, he's
it's
not,
been,
he's not gonna pay it. Yeah, he's been issued citation.
So have we not
Okay.
called him a nuisance yet?
well, that's what,
Not yet.
that's what I'm asking. It's been over the 30 days and it's one of the properties people continually ask me about.
Yeah, well, it's right on the highway.
Right.
I
So-
mean, he's just not gonna pay.
The 601,
601 each warrant.
yeah. So 30 days has passed and he hasn't paid it, so the next step is,
Well, we actually also sent him that the council moved last meeting for us to send them notice of a nuisance resolution. I've done that, and that time runs out on the 20th of November.
He's warned.
That, because we passed that one on October 12th at our meeting.
are you talking about 601 South Washington?
No, that one I don't have anything on.
I'm sorry, that's the one I'm talking about.
601 South Washington, to my knowledge, I know the property you're talking about, but we need to pass, somebody needs to make a motion tonight to declare that a nuisance
Well, I can make a notion.
and second it and pass it, and I'll send a notice out to them as soon as I can, probably tomorrow.
Okay,
So
Do we know
the
what date
clock
this
running.
party started? I mean, we have this 9/28, but really you said you've been out there for
Oh, we
months, right?
the
warned
party
him,
started going.
we warned him, and then gave him a citation, and then
So what you need to make is your motion to declare the property at 601 South Washington a public nuisance.
Can I do that right now, or Zach was in the middle of presenting his?
You can do it anytime.
that's fine. No,
So,
this is my last part anyway.
and the citation for a dog at large, they just have to, I mean, we don't want the dog, so
No, they paid it.
they paid it. And then the next one, do we,
She was due a ticket, unfortunately.
if that doesn't happen,
that car is
The one
gone
that's in the
and
court.
he's been ticketed and we're waiting for him to pay.
okay, so you're just waiting, the car's gone
The
now?
car's gone,
Yeah, that one's in court right now,
yeah.
and I think they had a resolution, didn't they, Rick?
Yeah, they did, they said they would pay it.
Okay.
They're gonna pay a monthly payment, just sit here, I can't remember, I think it's $25.
What is that? That's
Okay.
across the street from your house. I never noticed a nuisance card.
But the new one at 601 South Washington, you can make that resolution anytime.
Okay, is there any action we want to take?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to declare a nuisance property at 601 South Washington.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded, roll call.
Rucker,
Yes,
West,
Yes.
Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Householder. Yes, for
So we know what we're doing. I will send out a notice to the property owners, and in 30 days, if it's not cleaned up, then we'll file a court action and get authority to clean it up and talk to the neighbor about doing the work for us.
that could be nice.
Thank you.
All right, Zach, you got anything else for us?
Nope, that'll be it.
Sorry.
I have some,
Next, city clerk report.
I have some that I can do.
I think today was the first day that I went and talked to John after work, and I don't think I brought him a single problem. I was able to bring in good news on a couple different things. First of all, the account reconciliation is done. Chris has gone through every one of the accounts. She has met with Mark once, and it was for less than an hour. He asked for some supplementary documentation to straighten a couple things out. That documentation has been collected, and he is processing it right now. We are done with our portion of getting ready for the audit. It is my understanding.
That's great.
Chris walks around saying things like, wow, that's a load lifted. Or we're in a good place.
That's good.
I mean, she is in she says we are in a good place now, so, you know, Mark finishes up what he needs to finish up, and he should be able to move forward and the audit is at his discretion, so we're in good shape with that. I was like, hooray. And, as far as that $6,000 worth of consultation with Franklin and Vaughn, as far as I know, I'm thinking we're pretty much done with that, unless something else comes up later with some other issue. But as far as the audit stuff, yeah, I think you put in a total of maybe 6.5 hours to get that finished up, so that's good. SAM.gov. I told you last month, we had this ID number that they're changing from one number to another number, and they did the whole nation all at one time, and everybody's in a kerfuffle about it. I've been working on this forever. Was it you that sent me the kind of freak out on, is this done or is this being handled? Did that
Did I
start?
copy you in the letter that I received?
Yeah. Okay. That is being resolved. I have already been working on it. It has not been, due to inattention. It's just been due to unable to complete the process. But I did call Emily today, and Emily has now become my new best friend. She was able to supply one of the, remember I was telling you that I was getting stuck on hold with the IRS for hours at a time, days on end. I mean, we have put huge amounts of time sitting on hold trying to get a copy of this letter, which you cannot get online. And she was able to pull a copy out of her files, and she emailed it to me. So next time I'm back in the office, I'm gonna be able to upload a whole bunch. Oh, and Mr. Verticchio was able to send me a bunch of stuff that should address the documentation that they want to see for the SAM.gov number. So next time I'm in the office, I'll be able to upload it, send it off to the guy that's doing the help desk thing, and we should be able to see some progress starting on that. So Emily did assure me, she said, tell the council not to worry, you're not gonna lose any money, they're not gonna lose any grants, nothing bad is happening. She said, you are not the only person who is struggling with this issue. It is a known issue going on. She said, nothing bad is gonna happen.
That's good, but we'll get it in time.
Yeah, so relax, you know, if you get notifications that we're not in compliance, everybody's like that. And it's being worked on, and I'm finally getting the documents collected that I've been working on for months trying to find. So it's making good forward progress. I was thrilled today. Was I not thrilled today? I was thrilled today. Last meeting you guys had, in fact, I think it was Carrie primarily was asking, and you were talking about the codifier for the ordinance book, and nobody could remember exactly who it was or where it was at. I've tracked that down. It is in Lauf, something in Dorchester. She was the last one that we paid to codify the ordinance book, and I have made 2 calls to her. She has not answered either call. And I looked her up online.
Oh, from Carrollton.
Yeah, and Carrollton, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made the wrong city.
Your problem with that is Ann Clough isn't there anymore doing that. She's now the public defender of Macomb.
Do you have any idea, what should I do then? Because I looked on her reviews, she's a 1 star and for not answering her phone and not communicating. So I was like, well, I'm in good company
Good
here.
luck, yeah.
She's not gonna do that anymore. You're gonna have to, we'll get somebody else. I don't know.
Well, I guess the question though, Rick, is they're not so much,
Why
getting
don't you
somebody
ask
else is
them
not the
everything?
issue. It's they want to get a copy of the last one that was done. And she was the last one that did it.
Would you send me, did you send her something?
I have made 2 phone calls. I don't have, other than a street address, I don't have a contact
I
point.
found she works out of the courthouse now. I can go talk to her.
I've just been able to track this down the last day or two, so I haven't really had much chance to.
You guys have a PDF?
Let me see that, I'll talk to you better.
Okay,
You?
I
know you
will,
do. I do.
be back in the office.
You don't have the
next
PDF
week, so-
or the flash drive that Rhonda
I
passed
appreciate
out?
your help with that.
The-
But
yeah.
she is the
Rhonda
last
passed
person
that little
we
flash
think
drive.
to do
Well, I gave her a drive and she printed it for me.
Well, that's true. She made me get one. I didn't get one too.
No, I can't pull up anything on.
I'll send you guys all the PDF. ones.
Yeah. If you look it up by keyword and search it.
So anyway,
And that may have some of your answers that you're looking for.
other than the normal stuff, that was, did I forget anything?
On the gaming report, Heather, do you know how to tell, there's two of these that have initials, there's DDKB and MRH, do you know how to tell who those are?
Chelsea, you know what I do with that? I once a month go in, I click
Print
this
it.
button and that button
Yeah.
and that button and say print. I
Yeah.
don't know anything
So
about
one's gonna
this.
be,
You can do process of elimination of the names that are on there. And then the
yes,
ones that
I
don't.
got, yeah, one's gonna be the gas
Short stuff.
station and one's gonna be, Sage House. I do not see which one is which. I mean, that one is astronomical, kids, they must be really comfortable hanging
Well,
out there for a long
MRH
time.
would probably be shortstop,
Shortstop, I
some,
think.
Michael Powell.
Yeah.
They got that comfortable room there, that's what's going on. It's private. Drop it out.
Somebody in there.
I mean, 'cause this is,
I just printed the thing, I don't.
Oh, you're talking about gaming going on there?
So you got every hour of the day.
No, I can tell you there are.
What their shortstop would look like.
Oh, I did
Somebody
send
else in
out
there.
2 news items, I just wanted to make you guys aware
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're in the packet. One was concerning the UTV stickers. There are a bunch of people driving around with no stickers at all,
Oh,
and
yeah.
police are starting to crack down on them, so we did put in a news item, it will show up tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, that if you don't have a sticker, you better get yourself in here and buy one for 2023, and it will be considered current for 2022.
And
Or-
are those for just golf carts and, sorry,
Yeah,
so not four wheelers?
no.
Just, yeah, that ordinance that we passed, it was for golf carts that are substantially
Yeah,
equipped.
yeah, they have the
Nice.
seat belts and everything, we got a checklist.
And then the other condition was if you don't do that and the police catch you, you are going to pay the ticket and you're gonna buy another ticket,
Yeah,
another
for
sticker.
actual side by side,
So-
something on.
So that news item's been put in, and then another news item was put in concerning the post office. I'm sure a lot of you are aware, the water bills are not getting delivered to customers in a timely fashion. It
I
is
got
a-
mine.
You did? Good. Well,
Fine.
most people are not, and it is a known issue in the post office. The post office has now started contacting us to address it. So they're working on it. It has nothing to do with Tracy or us. It has everything to do with the United States Post Office.
So the post office is contacting us now?
Yeah, this has been going on for
Because
so
when I told
long.
Tracy I didn't get mine, she asked me to call the post office.
Yeah, well, that's what she's been doing, and I think that what's happening is there've been enough phone calls now that it's gotten the attention of the postmaster general, or the postmaster
Rick, what
in
you doing
St.
with my water
Louis.
bills?
So anyway, those 2 news items have been put in the paper,
Well, I hear you.
and that's what's going on.
I know this on the UTV application.
I know how to resolve it, but they don't want to listen to me.
On the
But
But
UTV
before,
application.
years and years, we've always, the police department has always brought them up to the post office and we hand delivered them. They never went to St. Louis. Now they think they gotta drop them off to St. Louis and their postcard, and they go through the sorter machine down in St. Louis and they get stuck, burned up in the rollers and disappear.
I got mine Tuesday.
So
I think Tracy said she mailed them on the 27th.
I think they
Anyway, the-
really should stay in office. I think they should stay here personally.
But anyway, we
So-
just basically told the public, the bills are due on the 15th, if you haven't gotten yours, come on up and we'll look it up for you, so.
They drop them in the mailbox and they go to St. Louis. And that postmaster, they tried to give them to her and keep them in-house, but she throws them into the outgoing mail
To get sorted.
to get sorted, yeah.
I thought maybe I won the lottery or something and I didn't have to pay mine this month.
It's a government entity. It's a
I wish I
government
had.
entity.
That'd be nice.
I wonder here on the UTV report, all these say cash, and I thought we had discussed they're not being cash. Do we have good cash books and a deposit system? Because we had a problem before, right? Or room for a problem.
So they're paying their fee over here and they're getting the sticker from you, correct? Or
Or sometimes I just walk a sticker over and after they pay, I just hand them a sticker over there too.
And they write
If
the
they're
receipt,
here.
we got the log, and we make a deposit.
Yeah, Chris and Tracy are taking.
And so they even have some stickers too. I was giving them some stickers. I'm not here.
But don't you have to get an inspection for them to get a sticker?
Yes, well, yes, some of them. If they're kind of recurring, then we kind of, as long as they've been inspected once.
All right, is there anything else from the clerk? All right, attorney matters?
The only thing we haven't discussed is the issue with US Cellular. I did talk to the representative, if you remember, the issue was they've offered to buy a permanent easement rather than having us receive monthly payment, over renewed leases. And I talked to the representative, a man named Mark O'Brien, and told him that, one, we were considering the issue, but two, we would want the permanent easement to indicate that it is only for US Cellular or a successor company to operate a cellular tower there. That's all we're granting easement, nothing that they couldn't then use it for something else. And he said he thought that would be fine. Let him know, and if that's for sure, we're bird in the hand. He's saying if that's what you tell us, then fine. But he thought that would be fine. So
What was the dollar amount again? Do you remember, Rick?
yes, it's right here. It's 127. I'm looking. I'm sorry. $127,547.96.
Okay, now I have a question for you. Is there a certain way that we would have to spend that money, or can we use it on our new parking lot here?
No, we can do that when any money, it would be selling the selling an easement. I would recommend that if people are gonna accept it, we may want to, give a notice that we're willing to grant a permanent easement. But it's not selling the property, we're still the owners, we're just granting an easement to them, but it's not gonna be renewed every 5 years, renewed every 4 years. It's gonna be permanent. They own it, and they have a right to have a cellular tower there.
And I'm sorry, you said it, I think, but if they go out of business,
We're
That deal's
gonna limit, the easement's gonna say it's to them, their successors are assigned. If you go out of business and they didn't assign it to anybody else, then it would die. But if they would assign it, and it's an asset that US Cellular they would assign it to somebody else. But it's gonna be limited to any successor and assigned using the easement for purposes of a cell tower. That's all.
so can we make a motion tonight for that?
Well, we considered it last month, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, we had it at discussion last month, so the motion would be to grant them a permanent easement. And if it passes, then, but with the limitations that we make sure it's limited to use as a cell tower.
So is there anything that you see that you would advise us, any reason not to do it?
Well,
Oh, you were gonna try to find out what they were paying monthly, did you?
yeah, you know what, I don't have that record, and I meant to do that, and I asked the guy also to look up from his end, he said, don't you know? And I said, I don't.
If I knew, I wouldn't ask, right?
But he didn't, he didn't tell me. I somehow I thought we talked about it one other time. Do you know, Heather, what payment you get on that monthly?
I thought when we talked about it last time, did you say, Joe, about 7.5 years? And did you do some figure out what it was?
Yeah. I don't think I could do
If we
that.
didn't know how much it was, how did we do figuring?
I think we knew how much it would have been if we, with the dollar amount that Rick had and just given us.
Oh, you're
If it
saying,
is about, yes,
It
not
would
what
be
it,
70.
what it is now, I don't think we figured that. I figured out what it would be with the new payment for that, or how long it would
Well,
take about to, but
since
that's
we
not
renew it
really.
every time anyway, and it has a sole purpose of a cellular tower, I would like to make a motion to turn it to a permanent thing for $127,547.
With the
With the sole
limitations.
purpose of a cellular tower only.
To US Cellular and or any of its assigned.
Yes.
But they'd have to live by the limitation in the easement. And I'll, have them get the easement, and I'll correct it.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded, roll call.
Brackett,
Yes.
West,
Yeah.
Menard,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Householder,
Yes.
Burke.
I'll work with them and see how fast we can get the easement prepared, signed, and turn over a check.
And would that check go into general fund, John?
So that would be general fund, yeah.
There's your parking lot. Okay.
Okay, I think we've discussed all the accountant matters for tonight. Are there any other committee matters that we need to discuss? Parks?
The park, we have an ad for a meeting for Monday night at the May Meisner Park for just to explain what they'd be bidding for concrete and, that's it for that park. And then Tuesday night for the resi for lighting and plumbing. And again, it's just an informational meeting for anybody that wants to bid the work. And then, again, Christina's working around the memorial, getting that all, those flowers that I love so much, Black Eyed Susans, have all been moved to the resi. And she's gonna make that one look real nice like it does around the concession stand, so. It'll be mulch and rock. And that's why I was a little nervous about the rock and pond, but
Carrie, these are meetings that you make notices for?
no, they're in the paper. They're not on the
Carrie,
committee.
Carrie's gonna-
Committee meetings.
Right, Carrie's just gonna
It's
meet
just
with
an
the
informational.
contractor.
I just wanted to.
It's a meeting telling them the scope of work, which will cover us for our bidding purpose.
Thank you. Next is finance committee. Rick, do you have any updates?
Not so much on that, but I would like to say that if you guys are trying to email me with a city thing, I'm not getting into your emails, but I couldn't get in with my password. Carrie gave me the password and it still doesn't work, so I still haven't been, and like I say, Joe, if you're having these meetings or something, you're emailing me that you're having them, and I'm not showing up because I don't know about it.
Okay.
Because I can't get into it, and I don't know what's out there in that email, but I can't never see
I'm not
it.
using that email, cause I keep getting
Spam.
messages
Yeah.
from John.
It asks John,
It's not
John
from
asks us to
John.
bring gift cards to him.
Yeah.
And you can't anytime.
That's not spam, that's
It starts saying,
regular.
"Hey, I'm really behind, I need your
I've
help."
asked him a couple times.
Anything.
I can't fix anything, I didn't know it was still happening, I don't get them.
Yeah.
Hey, I get urgent meeting, can you get a hold of me ASAP?
And then when
I
you
get those
reply,
like
it
every
says,
week.
when you reply, it says, can you get a gift card? Yeah.
No, I have never replied.
I replied once.
Yeah.
I'm like,
'Cause it doesn't-
maybe John will help
Have
you.
you gotten it from anybody besides John?
No, it's only from John.
I think it's got something to do with John's.
Yeah.
Been
So-
hacked.
Social engineering.
Yeah, and you can
So
tell.
how many people are
addresses.
not checking your Rackspace email?
I'm probably not regular enough.
I can't pull anything up.
I can't.
So 4 out of the 6 of you are not getting your Rackspace email?
Well,
I get mine, I just only check
Well, I
it like
check
every 2 days.
but every time I've had an email from him, and I wasn't from him, so.
I would
I'm not
say
doing it
that the
anymore.
Rackspace email needs to be addressed.
I had a computer crash after I had the crap email from, wasn't John.
My antivirus is up to date, so it can't be coming from me.
All right,
Thank you both.
so way to protect yourself.
Bo, do you have any input on that? I know you're just sitting here in the audience and nice and quiet a little bit.
Well, I work for AT&T full-time.
Right.
And we get regular courses on basically cybercrime, which is what this book, everything from ransomware to malware to these socially engineered attacks, right? You gotta pay attention to the email address. If it's one letter off, delete it.
Yeah.
Just delete it.
And that's the stuff from John is that it's like
It's
real
like-
close,
We're super close, right?
but
And
it says it's John.
they'll do things like, if your email has the letter O in it, they'll put a 0 where the O is to make it look like it,
It's you, yeah.
right?
So-
So BO0 versus BOE, right? That's
And
an.
never
that's-
click on a link, never click on a link.
Right.
So if those are all coming from close to John's email address, is there a way to,
Right,
I mean,
correct.
so if I contact the Rackspace, there's nothing they can do because it's not.
They'll encourage you to, which I advocate as well, is you're gonna have to look at that email, mark it as spam, and use the spam filtering tools.
I don't think
into the-
Rackspace has a spam filter on it though, is the problem. I don't
Right.
think they do, because I've,
I think they do.
That's what I would,
It does, I get stuff in my spam.
you gotta mark it,
It does.
and you gotta be diligent and mark it as spam.
I don't know, it's like this big.
And obviously,
When I
if
go
you
to
see
it,
something in the
so I
subject
can't-
line, which I'm sure you all,
I can
look at
see
it.
John wants gift cards.
I did, the first time I clicked on it and replied, I'm like, what do you need? The next time, I'm like, John doesn't need gift cards, you know?
John's not getting any gift cards.
Yeah,
We get John a gift card from all time.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's what it just says. Buy them
That's two
from all
plugs
time.
he's just done, one for AT&T, one for all.
Christmas present right there.
They got a real nice card.
To simplify, could we not just have all the meeting notes sent to our old email address? Would that be a problem?
It sounds like that's gonna be something we're gonna have to do.
Well, it's not a problem. John wanted everybody to have
The city is.
a city-based email address, and the reason why is if
FOIA.
you go on, you stop and I stop, those emails will still be accessible because it's an email address.
I would
And
prefer.
for
I mean,
FOIA
city,
purposes,
email address,
and for FOIA purposes,
sure,
Right, and
because they can
Sure.
FOIA your old email. account
which
and get
my old-
all your personal stuff.
my old email account was, and I still use it, is the Northward Olivers, and that's all it's for anyway, so if somebody wants to play it, they might see an occasional bid lot something pop up, but gave them the wrong email address. Anyway,
Okay, so as far as getting Rick's unlocked, what?
it's not locked, we just have to figure out, if we,
I think Carrie could go in there and just reset a password for me, and I'd probably be okay. Just reset the password.
as long as you're entering your email address correctly. with all-
It's tricky because Bunker Hill IL. and
You're not
like,
going-
it took me like 3 times to do that, and so I was like, oh, that's what I messed up.
And then you gotta make
because
sure you use with passwords,
Yeah.
that they assign,
That would-
it's the uppercase letters or
It's-
lowercase, that little, what is that little,
Yeah. Forward slash, backward slash.
this, no.
No, like
It's like
carrot.
Is it Carrie?
It's like a little carrot or something.
And of course, on my phone, when I tried to send it to him, mine's the only one on my phone like this, I'm like, yeah, it's this.
And I tried to do, I tried it pointing up, and it still wouldn't, like I said, I couldn't, it wouldn't work, it kept not giving me access.
Once I got mine, I saved it so it knows, because it was a kind of a jerky password, the upper, lower, and all the
If any of
things.
your kids are more,
Tech savvy.
tech savvy than us old people around this table, you might wanna ask one of them if they can help.
But I just wanna let everybody know, if I'm not responding to you, or I'm not coming to your meetings, it's because I don't get that email. So, I just wanna let you know that.
Well, you're late telling us that, buddy.
I know.
Just to help alleviate that, there's a trick. I know AT&T does it, I assume Verizon and T-Mobile do it as well. You can actually email yourself a text message, right? So like my phone number is 618-410-6297,
Did you guys get that?
right? Someone can actually email, in the email address to 618-410-6297 at MMS, which is multimedia, or txt.att.net. And that will actually email to my phone, right? And we use it in what's called two-tone for the fire services, where it listens for 911 traffic and it basically generates an email and emails it to your phone. So all the carriers have it, but you have the ability to email to someone's phone as well. It's just a matter of knowing the server, the phone number, and then the carrier will tell you what server that you use to send an email to your phone.
So we would
It's a
put
trick.
that in our contacts.
Right.
Rather than his Rackspace.
Or both, right?
Okay.
You can, have one, email one and email two, and then,
You better help him.
so. It's just a trick.
I don't know, I didn't
Oh,
actually
sure.
learn what
That was
Sorry, it's just something, an FYI, you have the ability. to
That's why
send
I went like probably on all of this, but thank you.
email. Sorry.
All right, well, so did you use that as your comments from the visitors, or?
Well, actually, I have a separate, I can use that. I do have, are we in that section now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I am here just to give the board update on the fireworks. I'm gonna talk fireworks, so start the timer.
Where is it?
No,
I'll do it
just-
on my phone, I'll do it on my phone.
There you go. I've submitted the permit paperwork. I'm working with our deputy clerk here to make sure that RMA, which is the city's insurance, has what they need. I've already given her $100, got the receipt, so there's absolutely no cost to the city whatsoever for this. I'm covering the cost of the fireworks. I'm gonna actually build what are called cake barriers. That'll be basically half, a piece of 4x8 plywood cut in half and put on each side of the fireworks, so that if they do blow apart, it's gonna contain them right there.
Where are we shooting fireworks?
We're gonna shoot fireworks for the
Christmas light tree lighting.
Christmas tree lighting. So, I've already got the silver mine cakes ordered.
Just not close to the tree.
Yeah, it's gonna be back behind the statue.
Wow, is that?
So-
Should pay better attention.
So it should, yeah, it'll add some pizzazz at the, the countdown.
I would say so.
Right, 20 seconds, 25 seconds roughly. So absolutely no cost to the city. I'm working with the deputy clerk to make sure that we have all the paperwork lined up. I'm gonna need a signature on a contract for you. It's a contract with the city that says, we're shooting a fireworks show and I'm paying for it. But the insurance wants to see a contract. So, and in it, it's the dollar amount is $50. I'm covering it. So it's, it's a contract for $50. RMA needs to see that. They also needed or I didn't realize that I'm going through the distributor AM Pyrotechnics, our insurance certificate. I'm just used to printing an insurance certificate and not reading it, unfortunately. That was missing a couple of key items. I've already got that, got a new insurance certificate. It was missing. The RMA wants to see vehicle liability as well as workman's comp. We have that. It was on a different insurance certificate. I've already printed it out and we give it to the deputy clerk. So we should be good. It's gonna be 20 seconds worth of fireworks. Yeah, right as the tree lights up. It's just a way to say thank you for
I know.
allowing us to do fireworks.
That is some Hallmark shit right there.
So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Okay, how'd I do in time?
Very good.
I think
Less
we got
than 3 minutes.
I was gonna say.
No, it was
you
less
know,
than 3 minutes.
All right, do we have any business that needs to go into executive session?
Yes.
Thanks, Bo.
Thanks, Bo.
Thank you, Bill.
So we get a motion to
We're
go
still
into
rolling.
executive
Oh,
I'll make a
session.
motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded.
If we object, we can.
Yep.
You want one?
Have a good evening.
All right.
Thanks,
See you
Zach.
guys.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, what you got?
Since the Christmas party is on December 2nd, and last year we gave out Christmas bonuses at the Christmas party, which I think is appropriate, we need to talk about Christmas bonuses.
What did we do last year?
200, I think.
Too much.
I was gonna say, whatever it was, the Scrooge said it was too much, so.
They didn't listen to you.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
It's hard to go backwards. I mean,
I
When was
think
the last time you
200 is
did track?
appropriate. Well, how many employees do we have for Logan County?
Well, look on the insurance.
And it's not, did we do part-time last year? I thought we just did
Oh, we
full-time.
did.
Or did we do part-time too?
For what the contract reads, we have to give everybody part-time or full-time same amount.
Same amount? Yes.
That sounds
remember,
familiar. That
everybody
sounds
called us
familiar.
out on that, yeah.
yeah, that sounds familiar.
So,
Well, we can afford two, let's
do
give
we
them
have two part-time officers now? If I remember voting for two, I think.
Well, right now, we got we got Holly, but she only works once in a while. I mean, she might work 3 times a year.
That's 3 times it'll earn her a bonus because she's part-time and we gotta give it to everybody.
We got the other 2 guys, so I guess basically we got 3, because Sputich, and I'll bring up Dale Sputich. I got ahold of him to get our uniforms, equipment back, and his house burnt, so he lost all his equipment in the house fire.
Oh my,
Yeah, that was on the 28th of October.
sorry to hear that.
Oh, out
Damn.
out on Clay Road?
Yeah, so anyway, I got ahold of him and said, I've been in touch with you, I haven't got the equipment back, why? And he said, I lost it, and I said, you lost it?
It's a shame.
Well, he sent me a picture of the house burned, and I couldn't tell what it was, and I said, well, what is the reason? And he said, well, I had a fire, I said, pardon me, I understand,
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's a shame.
yeah.
But nobody was hurt.
So anyway, that's all cleared up. So right now, as far as I know, we got all past part-timers cleaned up.
Nice.
So to answer your question, I'd say we got 3 right now.
So I'm saying we had 12, that we would have to get a 200. If we would choose to do 200, we'd get $2,400.
Yeah.
If I'm doing that right.
Make a motion to approve, oh, no, do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Good
make
try,
sure.
good try.
3, 5,
Do we agree?
4,
Back to
9,
regular.
10, 12, yeah. I figured 3 part-time, 4 full-time, 3 full-time, 2
So
full-time.
you want, no, wait a minute, we got Drew, Holly,
Wait a minute, you didn't say Drew.
we forgot about Drew, so there's 4
So that's 13.
part-timers.
So now we're up to 2,600.
Can't do it now.
And I don't know, last time that one part-timer worked, I need to get with Zach with them to see.
Let's do that first. Let's get rid of these.
Because
people
last
that are working
year, I
first.
think we said somebody hadn't worked in the last so many days, they were not.
Well, I don't think you can,
They
it
didn't
would be
have a
the
contract
year,
or
wouldn't it?
It'd be during this calendar year 2022.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay,
Get them off the
So-
roll for next year.
If they were,
I don't think the new part-time guy has started yet, though.
that could be.
will they be starting before December 2nd?
I don't know.
Lord.
Okay, well, I'll get with Zach.
We'll give him a $200 sign-on bonus.
Ha, that's a good way to cover it.
We just approved him last council meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, a month ago. He hasn't worked.
yeah, he has not worked yet, so
That's not aware of, I haven't seen.
I'll get hold of Zach tomorrow, I'll get hold of him. So you know,
Well, we're making a motion tonight, so should we just up it another 200 and say it's gonna be
Leave
for,
room for him just in case.
we're
Yeah,
gonna say
we'll
we're
say,
cover
we'll
14
say-
employees?
you can just make a motion for next number of dollars for whoever's part-time, full-time, and whoever it is, that's what it is.
Well, you just make a motion to pay $200
Per employee
per employee.
that worked for the year
Yeah,
2022?
it's your employee, and you're not.
Okay.
Don't make a motion.
Got it.
Anything else?
Sounds good to me. Anything else for executive session?
There was something else. Oh, insurance, doesn't necessarily need to be an executive session, but I'll talk about it if you wanna take it out. I got a response on the beautifications request for insurance to see if we can cover them, and we cannot. So, and I can read you the letter. Basically, it's because they're not part of the city, so they would have to get a separate policy, which they said you should be able to get at any insurance company, like the guy right down the road. And it's just like a
You know,
Small.
we divide it or.
fact, I don't know if Dan Rowland could do that or not. I can ask him if you want me to.
Okay, so are you,
She said, are they an independent not-for-profit organization or do they operate by and under the jurisdiction of the city? And I said they're independent. That's correct, right?
Yeah, it's like the sports league, we never could get them on any IML either. You had to go out and get your own policy.
She said, thank you, Carrie, as an independent organization, they should provide their own liability insurance for special events, including for use of the lot at SIHS Healthcare. The city's insurance is for special events being managed / organized by the city, not by other organizations. They should be able to purchase a special event policy from a local insurance agent. Please just let us know if you have any other questions or if we can provide any further assistance. Thank you.
That makes sense.
So, sorry, Julie, not the answer you were looking for, but.
You know, something else we need to do too, from having been working with the ordinances, anybody that's doing any work for us needs to present a
Make sure that's
insurance
all.
policy to us here.
Absolutely, everybody I've dealt with just turned in an
Yeah.
insurance policy. They don't do work for us unless I have
Yeah.
their proof of insurance first. From the guy that installed the fence to anybody else that's been involved.
all right, is there any other matters for executive session? Hearing none, we have a motion to exit
Does it look
executive
okay?
session.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna motion.
No, here's the end.
All in favor?
Okay.
I-
Aye.